Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be going over my Children of Bodom collection. I've been meaning to do a video like this for a while. I mean, Children of Bodom is my favorite band, and as you can see, I've gotten quite a big collection of stuff over the years. So yeah, this is going to be a little fun video to make. I'll just be going over all my things here. And let's just start, because it's going to be a pretty long video probably. So first we have Children of Bodom Something Wild. This is a reissue from 2008. So it has the original Children of Bodom single version, Mass Hypnosis, and Dead Night Warrior music video. First album. I mean, it was a pretty crazy album at the time. It mixed so many different genres of music, neoclassical, black metal, power metal, some people say melodic death. Yeah, it's not one of my favorite Bodom albums today, but it started everything, so it's a pretty important album. I kind of want to get the original version of this album, the one with the different logo, but apparently it's pretty rare. Alright, next we have the Children of Bodom single. This was released after Something Wild, and I believe... So yeah, there's the original single version. It's different from the Hatebreeder version. The mix is different. And it has 2 bonus tracks, which, I mean, they're just kind of there. I don't even remember those songs, to be honest. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Next we have the Downfall single. What can I say? It's just Downfall. There's nothing else on this disc, just Downfall. Next we have Hatebreeder. This is also a reissue. Includes No Commands, Aces High, and the Downfall music video. Their second studio album. A lot better than Something Wild in my opinion. All the tracks on here are really good. Although I don't really listen to some of these as much. Like, I don't really listen to Warheart, Towards Dead End, or Wrath Within that much anymore. And, well, kind of Downfall as well. But, I mean, you got, like, some really, really good songs on here, like Hatebreeder, Bed of Razors, Black Widow, Black Widow, and self-titled Children of Bodom. So, really good album. Next we have Tokyo Warhearts. This is a live album. Really good live album too. There's some it's just songs from the first 2 albums, it looks like. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. It's just a good live album. Next we have Hate Me. This was a huge single for the band, I believe. I think it was like #1 in Finland or something. The mix on here is also different from the Follow the Reaper version. I do prefer the Follow the Reaper version though. And here we have Follow the Reaper. This is also a reissue. Unfortunately, I don't have the originals of any of these. Any of these earlier ones, I should say. So this has Hate Me, the original single version, which we just seen, and Hellion, and of course the Every Time I Die music video. Out of the original trilogy, this is definitely my favorite album. And every song on this is really good. Not a single bad song. Kissing the Shadows is kind of overrated in my opinion. Besides the guitar and keyboard duel, there isn't really much about it that's interesting. But, I mean, you got songs like Bodom After Midnight, Children of Decadence, Mask of Sanity, Taste of My Scythe. I mean, it's a really good album. Used to be my favorite Bodom album, actually, for many years. Next, we have this little interesting one, Best Breeder from 1997 to 2000. Kind of just slipped out of the case there. This was only released in Japan. And it's just basically a best of from the first 3 albums. It also has live tracks from Tokyo Warhearts. Rebel Yell. I guess this was the first album that the Rebel Yell cover was on. It's kind of like exclusive. And what I find funny is that they have In the Shadows on here. I find that really interesting how they put that on the best of In the Shadows. It's such a random song. It has this little, I think it's a photo book. It's been a while since I actually looked through this. Biography. I can't read Japanese, unfortunately. Some photos. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. I only got that like not too long ago. I think I got on eBay. So the next thing we have here is You're Better Off Dead, another single from the Crew Deathroll album. The mix is very, very slightly different on this, although it's kind of hard to notice. It's nothing as significant as the other singles. Next we have Crew Deathroll. This album is really, really good. It never used to be one of my favorites until recently. Recently, this album, I think it's because I just charted all these songs recently for Clone Hero. So it's kind of fresh in my mind. But all these songs are really good. I don't really listen to Angels Don't Kill as much. But every other song in here, really good. I mean, you got like Chokehold, Bodom Beach Terror, Trip Corpse Hammer Blow, Little Blood Red Riding Hood. Like, those are just really good tracks. Next we have, again, Crew Deathroll. This is the reissue. So it has Somebody Put Something in My Drink, Silent Scream, Needle 24/7 Live in London, 2008, and the 6-pounder music video. Next we have the Trash Lost Strung Out EP, released in 2004. It was just kind of like an EP that Children of Bodom put out when they got their new rhythm guitarist, Rupee. So on here we have Trash Lost and Strung Out, which would later appear on Are You Dead Yet? We have Knuckle Duster, which only appeared on this album until Hexed, where they re-recorded it. You have Alice Cooper cover Bed of Nails and Andrew WK cover She Is Beautiful. And Trash Lost Strung Out video. And then Trash Lost in Helsinki, which is kind of like a mini documentary kind of thing. Really funny video. Next we have, once again, Trash Lost Strung Out. This is the DVD version. So it has mostly the same things. There's an Andrew WK clip, a remix of Angels Don't Kill, which I think sounds almost exactly like the original. Got some music videos. Next we have In Your Face, a single from Are You Dead Yet? This has another kind of like little funny video, and a 6-pounder live, which is also video. This is all video. This is a DVD actually. This is just an In Your Face single. There's no songs on it besides In Your Face. It's a promotional single. Alright, next we have the 5th studio album, Are You Dead Yet? Which used to be my favorite Children of Bodom album at one point in time. You got great songs like If You Want Peace, Prepare for War, Next in Line, Trash Lost and Strung Out, We're Not Gonna Fall, Living Deadbeat. Like, it's a really good album. Although a lot of people stopped listening to them when this album came out because it was more like thrashier, people say, or like they had used less keyboard melodies, which I don't agree with. There's keyboard melodies everywhere on this album. But yeah, it's a really solid album. I must say though, it probably has the worst cover art of any Children of Bodom album. Not a fan of that cover art. And they usually have really good cover arts. Next we have Stockholm Knockout Live. The CD version. It's the live album. Fantastic live album, actually. Really, really good stuff. I really like how they put Bodom After Midnight and Bodom Beach Terror together. I can't wait to chart that song. That's going to be fun. Oh yeah, I might as well show this as well since I just showed that. This is the DVD version. Has a cool documentary behind the scenes stuff, and this is actually the I believe it's the European version of the DVD, which is good because it has the part where they play the Titanic theme, which is not on the North American version of this DVD, in case people are wondering. All right, next we have Bloodrunk. It's a single. I'm not sure if there's anything else on here. Oh, there is. Looking Out My Back Door, which is, of course, a cover. Here's another Bloodrunk single. This one has Rebel Yell and a Bloodrunk music video. Here's Smile Pretty for the Devil, another single. Has a cover of Talk Dirty to Me on it, which is interesting. And a music video as well. Looking Out My Back Door, promotional radio single by the looks of it. I got like all these on the website discogs.com. I find you can find like a lot of really cool obscure CDs on there. Next we have Hellhounds on My Trail. This was like a limited edition EP, I think, released in, I want to say the UK. It was like a UK special kind of thing. It has an edit of Hellhounds on My Trail. So it's kind of like a shortened version. Just Dropped In, which is a cover, Bed of Nails cover, some live tracks, and uncensored music video for Hellhounds. Yeah, pretty cool. I kind of like the cover art. It's not like a traditional Children of Bodom cover art, but it's kind of cool. All right, next we have Bloodrunk. Really good album. A lot of people say this is when Children of Bodom became like terrible, but I think this album is pretty fantastic. You got great songs like Hellhounds on My Trail, One Day You'll Cry, Small Pretty for the Devil, Done With Everything, Roadkill Morning. Actually, pretty much every song on here is good. I can name them all, honestly. Ghost Riders in the Sky is a cover. I'm not a huge fan of that cover, though. But yeah, really good album. And next we have the Bloodrunk Digipack version. It has a surround sound mix, 5.1 for every song. And making of the Bloodrunk music video. So it's kind of a cool little package here. Oh. Looks like the DVD fell out. So, there's that. Moving on, we have Skeletons in the Closet, which is a cover album. This is the North American version, I believe, since I live in Canada. Yeah, so it has the Canadian stuff on there. So, there's two versions of this album. I think the European version has a different track listing or something. I don't know. It's like a weird thing they did. But anyway, it's a cover album. I don't know what else to say. Some of these covers are really good. I mean, I really like Mass Hypnosis, Hell is for Children, Aces High, No Commands, Antisocial, More Inside My Head. I'm trying to think what's missing. Oh yeah, She Is Beautiful is not on here. I think that's on the European one, which sucks because I really like that cover. But anyways, next we have Children of Bodom, Was It Worth It? This is a single, and I really like this. This is cool because it's actually numbered. So this is 171 out of 500 copies, which is really cool. Not a big fan of Was It Worth It, the actual song. I think it's the weakest song on the album, but, you know. Angels Don't Kill live at Bloodstock. I think that was on a different album as well. I think it's on, I can't remember right now. I think it was on a different album as a bonus or something. Here we have, this is funny, Road Trip to Hell and Back. It should be Round Trip, not Road Trip. And the Eddie Murphy cover, Party All the Time. This is just a Spine Farm promotional CD given out to radio stations. Next we have Relentless, Reckless Forever. So the next studio album. One of my favorite Children of Bodom albums. As of now, I think this might actually be my second favorite album. Even though a lot of people hate this, but every song on here is good. I mean, Was It Worth It is kind of weak, but everything else, like, pretty solid stuff. I mean, Not My Funeral is like one of the best songs they ever did. Round Trip to Hell and Back, great slow song. Pussyfoot Miss Suicide has some great riffs. Ugly is fantastic. Cry of the Nihilist, fantastic. North Pole Throwdown is a ridiculous song title, but it's pretty fantastic as well. Oh, and I didn't say Shovel Knockout. That's a really good song as well. Next, we have the Relentless, Reckless Forever Digipack. So this has a DVD, just music video stuff. Live. Oh, there it is. The Angels Don't Kill live at Bloodstock. I mentioned that earlier, so it's also on here. And you have some Rocco's Method excerpts from the DVD. Next we have, we have Holiday at Lake Bodom, another kind of compilation best of album. This has 2 exclusive covers. I'm Shipping Up the Boston and Jesse's Girl. Shipping Up the Boston is a fantastic cover, one of their best. And you have a little documentary DVD and a Shovel Knockout music video. Next we have I'm Shipping Up the Boston. This is just a radio promotional single. Transference, another radio promotional single. Got Halo of Blood, which is by far my favorite Children of Bodom album of all time. Fantastic album, fantastic art, fantastic production, fantastic songwriting. Every song on here is really good. I don't really listen to Dead Man's Hand on You as much. I definitely prefer Scream for Silence being the better, slower song, but every other song in here, really, really good. Some highlights, I guess, would be like Halo of Blood, Bone and Blue Moon, and the final three songs on here are really, really good. Next, we have the Digipack version. It's pretty much the same, except it has a Sleeping in My Car cover from Roxette, really good cover, and the making of Halo of Blood, which is really cool. I always like the making ofs. I wish they had one for every album. Be really cool. Next we have Tales from Lake Bodom. This is a split with Amorphous. This is only released in the German magazine Legacy. It was like a promotional thing. So you have Suicide Bomber, which was like a sneak preview from the upcoming I Worship Chaos album. You have a live version of Halo of Blood from Summer Breeze, and a Black Winter Day Amorphous cover, which would later appear on I Worship Chaos. And you got some Amorphous songs here. They actually covered Every Time I Die, which is interesting. So there's that. Next we have I Worship Chaos. Probably one of my least favorite Children of Bodom albums. I think Something Wild still might be my least. Yeah, I love this album when it came out, but it just hasn't aged well for some reason. I mean, the single, I was never a fan of the singles. I Hurt, I Worship Chaos, not a fan of those. Morrigan was decent. Prayer for the Afflicted is probably my least favorite song by them, but you have some pretty good songs. You got My Bodom, Hold Your Tongue, Suicide Bomber, Widdershins. Those are all really good. Widdershins probably one of the best songs they ever made. All for Nothing is an interesting song, has a crazy duel at the end. So it's pretty much more experimental, I think, because, I mean, most of this was in drop B tuning, which was new for them. Yeah, so not much more to say about that. Next, we have the Digipack version. This one has some cover songs. I don't know why it's so hard for my camera to focus on this. Mistress of Taboo, Danger Zone, Black Winter Day, and Making of the album, which is always great. Next, we have Hexed, which is their final album. Really sick cover art. I'm a fan of it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I was a huge fan of this album when it came out as well. It aged pretty well. Trying to pick out some highlights from this album. This Road, Glass Houses, Kick. It's okay. It says Kick in a Spleen, but it should be Kick in the Spleen. Hexed, Relapse, Soon Departed, Knuckle Duster. Those are probably my highlights there. yeah, it's a great album for them to end with, I guess. Sucks they couldn't have done more, but you know. Next we have the Digipack version. Pretty much the same. Has some bonuses as usual. I Worship Chaos Live, Morgan Live, and a really weird industrial remix of Knuckle Duster. Very strange. Next we have Bodom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood. This was the last recordings of Alexi Laiho before he passed away. All three tracks are phenomenal. It's really sad that we never got a full album of this kind of material, because it probably would have been like the best Children of Bodom album, or Bodom After Midnight, I should say. It's different. It's not the same as Children of Bodom, but I mean, Alexi Laiho was pretty much the core of the band anyway, so. Payback's a Bitch is my favorite track off of this. Here's some other stuff, which is like, I don't think most of this is Children of Bodom exactly, but it's like some interesting stuff nonetheless. This is Viva La Band's Volume 2, Bam Margera's compilation disc. I have this because it has the original version of Tie My Rope, which is a different mix, and it has a different guitar solo as well as slightly different lyrics in, I want to say, the first verse. There's like one line that's like different. So that's kind of interesting. Next we have Nightwish the Carpenter. This is a single. And you might ask why I have this. Well, it's because it has Red Light in My Eyes Part 2 as a bonus track. What do I want to go through next? We'll do the Synergy stuff. So Synergy was a band that Alexi was a part of. It was basically kind of like power metal. So this is their first album, Beware the Heavens. Probably my least favorite album of theirs. Some good songs are Venomous Vixens, Beware the Heavens, Swarmed, and that's pretty much all I'd pick off of that album. Next is their second album, To Hell and Back. Big improvement over the first album. Some highlights, The Bitch Is Back, Midnight Madness, Lead Us to War, Galamir, Return to the Fourth World. Yeah, definitely a big improvement. It has a cover of Hanging on the Telephone, which is kind of interesting. And we have their third and unfortunately final album. This was definitely their best album, and a huge improvement over the first two. They just kept getting better. I Spit on Your Grave, The Sin Trade, Violated, Written in Stone, Passage to the Fourth World, Shadow Island, Suicide by My Side. Like, just really great tracks here. And Alexi wrote a lot of the music too, so really strong material. Next up we have Warman, which was the keyboardist Yanni Werman's side band. This is the only Warman album I own right now. I do want to get the rest of them. There's a track with Alexi on vocals, High Heels on Cobblestone, which is cool. Black Cat, which is a cover. Separate Ways, that's a cover. Pretty cool album if you like a lot of keyboard stuff. Next up we have the Hell Dorado Spine Farm compilation. This is really cool because this has Children of Bodom. Okay, if my phone wants to focus here. Children of Bodom, Towards Dead End. This is not the version on Hatebreeder. This is actually like almost like a demo version. And I believe it was, instead of D standard, I think it was in like C sharp or D flat tuning. So that's pretty interesting. Really old version of that song. Really cool. I think that was released in 1998, so it was before Hatebreeder. Next we have Chlamydia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. I don't know how to say that. Featuring Children of Bodom and other bands. So Children of Bodom did a cover of a Chlamydia song in here called La Tomerie. I guess that's how you say it. I have no idea. Yeah, not much to say about that besides that. Guitar Heroes. This was a Kind of like a collection of all the big Finnish guitarists at the time. Alexi has a solo song here, Sioux City Sarsaparilla. Really cool instrumental song. Ropey actually has a song here too, Soap on the Rope. He was rhythm guitarist for Children of Bodom for like 12 years or something. So, good stuff. So some other stuff I have here. This is Needle 24/7 and Silent Scream. This is a 12-inch vinyl. I think it's a 12-inch. I don't really know much about vinyl. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like a 12-inch vinyl or something. So it's a picture disc and Needle 24/7. This is Bloodrunk, another 12-inch. Side A, Bloodrunk, and looking at my back door. This is a Round Trip to Hell and Back. B-side being Party All the Time. Another 12-inch. Has the lyrics on the back, which is always nice. Alright, what else do we have here? This is a numbered vinyl. 286 out of 500. And it's Was It Worth It? And this was for the Ugly World Tour 2011 UK dates. Picture on the back. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have some picture vinyls. We got Hatebreeder. These are all the back on black editions, limited edition of 2000. So we got Hatebreeder. Oh, they actually spelled Bed of Razors correctly. Instead of Z at the end, they actually have an S. Because I know on the CDs, I think there's like a Z at the end of some of them. Next, we have Children of Bodom, Tokyo War Hearts. Same back on black edition. Follow the Reaper, once again, from the same series. And we have Crew Deathroll, also from the same series. And the last vinyl, we have Hexed. So that's it for the vinyl. Two more little things I want to show here. We've got Alexi Laiho's biography, English edition. Really, really cool read. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here about Children of Bodom, about his life growing up. Just very interesting read. Highly recommend. And we have the Roadkill photo book. This is not the signed edition. This was the one that they put up on their store recently, within the last year or so. It's just a photo book of, you know, their tours all over the years and stuff. Lots of cool pictures here. So I have a few more things to show, and I'll be back in 1 minute. Alright, so here are some flags or posters I have from Children of Bodom. Sorry about the lighting. This is my room, so the lighting's kind of shit in here right now, to be honest. So you have Relentless, Reckless Forever. I really, really like this one. I actually like the album art for this. I think it's pretty cool. Here we have Crew Deathroll. Another flag. Over here, we have Children of Bodom. Nice little poster there. Got a Hex poster. I Worship Chaos. Over here, we have Are You Dead Yet? Bloodrunk. And probably my favorite, we have the Halo Blood flag. And if you look very closely, there's Yaska's signature, Ropey's signature, Henka's signature, and I'm blanking right now. One of these is Alexi and one is Yanni, but I can't remember. I want to say that's Yanni and that's Alexi, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's probably the coolest thing I own. So anyway, guys, I really hope you liked this video, and I'll see you guys real soon.